Scrolling through your feed right now, are you actually choosing what you see, or is something else choosing for you? Philosopher John Stuart Mill warned about tyranny of the majority back in the 1800s. His fear was that in a democracy, the greatest threat to freedom was not a government dictator, but the social tyranny of the collective mind, which leaves fewer means of escape than political oppression. What he means is, if an opinion is not algorithmically friendly, it is not censored by a dictator, it simply receives zero reach. This creates a psychological environment where users believe everyone thinks the same way, because the dissenting voice is invisible, not silenced. Social media perfected this, except the algorithm doesn't just reflect what the majority thinks, it creates the majority. It decides what goes viral, what you see, what becomes normal. Even your personalized feed isn't yours. It's just what worked on people like you. You follow fitness? The algorithm shows you extreme body transformations because unrealistic standards drive engagement. You follow cooking? Rage bait videos of people with eating disorders because anger equals comments. You follow news? The most divisive, fear-mongering headlines because fear equals sharing. You curated the topic, but the algorithm weaponized it against you. Mill argued you need diverse viewpoints to discover truth. The algorithm gives you one perspective on repeat because that's what's profitable. The greatest trick these social media platforms ever pulled is that they've convinced you that you're the one making the choice. But you aren't. What's really messed up though is that even if you know you're being manipulated, it doesn't make you immune. Psychoanalyst Erich Fromm called this escape from freedom. His argument was that humans are terrified of real freedom because freedom means uncertainty, responsibility, and hard choices. It's easier to surrender and let something else decide for you. Social media offers exactly that escape. Just keep scrolling. We'll decide what matters, what's true, and what's worth your time. No hard choices, no uncertainty, just infinite content. Erich Fromm described 3 primary escape mechanisms people use to cope with anxiety, uncertainty, and a lack of control, and modern social media exploits every single one of them. First, you have authoritarianism, which is surrendering to authority. The algorithm said so becomes your worldview. Second is destructiveness. You can't fix your real problems, so you destroy someone online instead. That's doom scrolling, rage posting, and cancel culture. And third, we have automaton conformity, which means you become exactly like everyone else, because conformity feels safe. You post the same trends, use the same filters, and repeat the same topics. That's why Gary spent $70,000 on TikTok hits. Eric said humans need genuine relationships. Social media gave him simulated connection. Same with the people who think ChatGPT is God. They're not having a spiritual awakening. They're escaping the responsibility of finding meaning
what does that say?
that doesn't hand you easy answers.
GM severed?
Eric would say
Wyatt Carter? How you doing, Wyatt? Stop fucking spamming, sir.
Ever opened TikTok just for a second?
GM severed? What does that mean?
Minutes later, with no memory of what you saw,
GM severed?
At this point, the question isn't whether
how you doing, people?
It's whether you're even capable of making a free choice while using it.
Grandmaster severed?
Yes.
How often?
About more than 8 hours a day.
So we've established that you might not be making free choices when you use social media. But the question is, why not? What's actually happening in your brain that makes it so hard
you're a
to put the phone down,
grandmaster.
even when you know you should?
At
The
chess.
answer lies in something
I
neuroscientist
see.
Dr. Aditi Naruka calls popcorn.
So even grandmasters at chess doom
Not like
scroll?
material, but neuroplastic, meaning it physically restructures itself based on what you do repeatedly. As neuroscientist Lara Boyd explains,
Every time.
Even the chess boys doom scroll, eh? That's funny.
They legit? eBay.
I always wanted to play chess, but
Also eBay.
I just don't got the time for it in my brain. I'm always thinking about something else. I think I got ADHD.
Get a TurboTax actually reviewed.
What's up, Justin?
File only when everything is
Same shit, different day, buddy.
guaranteed. Expert checked, zero drama. Now this tax.
Cocaine. I'm just playing. A 1, a 2, a 3. Bro, this live shit is so hard. Nobody wants to watch me. Nobody wants to subscribe to some loser doing nothing all day. Come on, guys, make me famous so I can get a cool haircut, shave my beard, act like I'm giving to the homeless for no reason. It's fun, good times. Bruh, oh, why does everybody do that, bro? They love the mustache. Hey, I should keep it. I was trying something new, you know, midlife crisis, bro.
Something called neuroplasticity.
Trying something new with the mustachio.
After about puberty, the only changes that happened in the brain were negative. The loss of brain cells with aging.
I'm bored.
The result of damage. Like
You guys suck. You're not saying anything.
Studies
Staring
began to
contest.
show remarkable amounts of reorganization in the adult brain. And the ensuing research has shown us that all of our behaviors change our brain.
This happens in 3 ways.
And the first is chemical. The brain actually functions by transferring chemical signals between brain cells, what we call neurons, and these trigger a series of actions and reactions. So to support learning, your brain can increase the amount or the concentration of chemical signaling
I win.
that's taking place between
I
neurons.
fucking win.
Now, because this kind of change can happen very rapidly, this supports short-term memory, or the short-term improvement in the performance of a motor skill. The second way that the brain can change to support learning is by altering its structure.
Why would you give me a thumbs up and take it back? What a piece of shit. It's hilarious, bro. I love it.
The problem is that no matter how smart you are, your brain doesn't really judge whether the behavior is good for you. It just optimizes for whatever you repeat most often. If you practice piano all the time, your brain rewires to get better at piano. If all you do is scroll all day long, then your brain rewires to need scrolling. And social media companies hire experts who understand exactly how to exploit this. Tristan Harris, former design ethicist at Google, said these aren't just app designers. They're behavior engineers who learn all these covert ways of getting people's attention or orchestrating people's lives. Their entire job is to exploit neuroplasticity, to rewire your brain for addiction. TikTok perfected this. Every swipe, every second watched, every skip feeds the algorithm data. It learns what triggers the strongest neuroplastic response in your brain. Your brain starts to expect dopamine hits every 15 to 60 seconds. Anything longer feels unbearably slow. You've literally rewired your brain's reward system. Dr. Naruka calls this popcorn brain because your brain starts to pop from overstimulation. She explains the phenomenon in an interview.
Popcorn brain is a biological phenomenon coined by Dr. Levy. It is essentially your brain circuitry starting to pop based on overstimulation. So it's not like your brain is actually popping, but it's that sensation of popcorning because of spending too much time online.
She goes on to say that internet addiction and popcorn brain are 2 different things. The latter defines modern life, and everyone has it, and the stats show the damage. The average person touches their phone 2,617 times a day, and over half check it within 15 minutes of waking up.
So I'm like super surprised. I think I guessed like 50 times a day or something like that, and I didn't take into account the tapping, swiping, like text messaging and Facebook requires. So I'm blown away. I think I clocked in almost like 1,000 interactions a day, which is just like insane to me.
Your amygdala, the emotional center of your brain, thinks scrolling keeps you safe by scanning for threats. But the threats never resolve. The feed never ends. So you keep scrolling. This is a biological addiction. Tristan Harris calls it the classic race to the bottom, that when you have to get attention and it's so tense, the only way to get more is to go lower on the brainstem. You know, to go lower into emotion, to go lower into...
What is this shit, bro?
Invented autoplay. Netflix
What is this?
Facebook copied it. Now it's everywhere. Snapchat invented snap streaks, giving kids something they don't want to lose. Kids give passwords to friends on vacation to keep going. They're not having conversations. They're photographing walls to feed the algorithm. Why does this work? It's your lizard brain not optimizing for your
What the fuck is a stacky dash?
long-term and
What the
focused
fuck is this
actually
stacky
very
dash?
The lizard brain is faster,
Stacky
easier to
dash.
and more predictable. Outrage works better than calm, just as fear works better than hope.
What
Controversy works better.
the hell is it?
Facebook's newsfeed benefits from outrage because outrage makes you share. As Harris said,
If Facebook had a choice between showing you the outrage feed and a calm news feed, they would want to show you the outrage feed.
and here's where it gets truly dystopian. Harris describes it like this.
I want you to imagine walking into a room,
Hey yo.
a bunch of people who hunched over at desks with little dials, and that control room will shape the thoughts and feelings of 1 billion people. This might sound like science fiction, but this actually exists right now, today. I know because I used to be in one of those control rooms.
When you see a notification, it schedules thoughts you didn't intend to have. When you swipe, it schedules time you didn't intend to spend. Every design choice is steering 1 billion people's attention, and it's not just attention, it's advertising.
Anybody who can pay the most to actually walk into the control room and say, that group over there, I want to schedule these thoughts into their minds. You can precisely target a lie exactly to the people who are most affected. And because this is profitable, it's going to get worse.
Neuroscience proves it's not your fault. The more you scroll, the more your brain structurally changes to keep scrolling. You're not weak-willed. Your brain has been physically rewired. As Harris said,
That in the 1970s, when you were just gossiping on the telephone, there wasn't 100 engineers on the other side of the screen who knew exactly how your psychology worked and orchestrated you into a double bind with each other.
they studied neuroplasticity. They hired persuasive technology experts.
What the fuck?
For your lizard brain, they rewired your neural pathways through repeated behavior. And now your brain physically needs what they're selling.
Now, do you use TikTok?
Yes.
How often?
About more than 8 hours a day.
Hey yo!
To has a dark side.
I feel like I have lost much of my cognitive ability. I don't feel as articulate and as educated as I was as a 16-year-old even.
The fact is that they built an addiction machine. Your brain is running their code. But here's the thing. People are
I
starting
feel the same way. Don't feel as articulate and knowledgeable as I used to. I think I'm gonna take a break from social media. This shit's garbage, bro. Like, what is this? What am I doing right now?
Social media was producing parts of my life I did not want.
And when I used to have these apps, first of all, it was a waste of time. I was such a time waster. I would just be on there scrolling for no reason, like comparing myself to others, seeing other people's perfect lives, seeing the highlights of their lives, thinking, man, my life sucks, man, my life is shit. Now I gotta live up to those expectations. Now I gotta find those expectations on Snapchat stories so I can look cool, so my friends will think I'm cool, so I can fit in.
Two-thirds of 16 to 24-year-olds now think social media does more harm than good. Half of them think they spend too much time on it when they were younger. This isn't a small group of concerned parents. This is the generation that grew up with these platforms saying they were lied to. Digital detoxes are going mainstream, and devices like dumb phones are selling out because people are desperate to escape.
Now I just have peace and quiet, and I'm just kind of alone with my thoughts. Where previously I didn't have space to be alone with my thoughts. Being the next, notification or piece of content, like it was such an addictive relationship. And I think with this phone, there's really no space for me to be addicted to it.
Take physical phones, for example. Cat Cursor created a landline-style phone that connects to your iPhone via Bluetooth. The idea was simple. You can still make calls and texts without carrying a dopamine slot machine in your pocket.
I'm in the mental sector. I feel beautiful. Somebody told me it'd be profitable.
She sold $150,000 worth in 3 days. By October 2025, she made $280,000 total. People lined up to pay hundreds of dollars for a product that does less than what they already own. People know they're addicted and they're willing to pay For example, limiting social media to 30 minutes per day can result in a 24.8% improvement in depression symptoms in just 1 week.
As soon as I get social media, no negatives. Everything in my life got better.
Cal Newport has never had social media, not once, and he's built a successful career, written multiple best-selling books, and reports high life satisfaction.
I think I'm happier. I think I find more sustainability in my life. I think I've been more successful professionally because I don't.
His entire existence is proof you don't need it. The platforms want you to think you'll miss out, be left behind, and lose opportunities. The data shows the opposite.